Good day, mates. Today we're diving headfirst into the wild world of 18th century English literature. Now I know what you're thinking. Stephen, why should I care about some old books? Well, let me tell you, these aren't just any old books. We're talking about the works of Samuel Richardson, a man who revolutionized the way stories were told. Don't worry, it's not as boring as it sounds. We're talking about Samuel Richardson, the big kahuna of epistolary novels. Now you might be wondering, what in the world is an epistolary novel? Well, my friends, it's a fancy term for a book written entirely in letters. Imagine reading someone's mail and getting sucked into their drama. That's what Richardson did, and he did it like a pro. You know those books written entirely in letters? Yeah, those ones. It's like reading a series of text messages today, but with a lot more flourish and formality. Richardson's characters poured their hearts out in these letters, and readers couldn't get enough of it. Richardson was a big deal back in the day. He was like the J.K. Rowling of the 1700s, only instead of writing about wizards and magic, he wrote about the dramas and heartbreaks of ordinary people. His stories were filled with emotion, intrigue, and the kind of relationship drama that would make today's soap operas look tame. Well, sort of ordinary. They did wear a lot of wigs and powdered their faces. Back then, fashion was a whole different ballgame. Men and women alike wore elaborate outfits that would make a modern-day fashionista blush. But beneath all that powder and pomp, Richardson's characters were just like us, dealing with love, loss, and everything in between. His most famous book, Clarissa, is a real doorstopper, but it's also a ripper of a read. This book isn't just long, it's epic. It's the kind of story that pulls you in and doesn't let go. Clarissa is filled with passion, conflict, and some of the most memorable characters you'll ever meet. It's got everything: love, betrayal, family feuds, and enough twists and turns to make your head spin like a top. Imagine a soap opera, but set in the 18th century, with all the drama and intensity turned up to 11. That's Clarissa for you. It's a story that keeps you on the edge of your seat, wondering what's going to happen next. So, sit back, relax, and let me tell you all about it. We're going to explore the life and works of Samuel Richardson, and trust me, you're in for a treat. Whether you're a literature buff or just someone looking for a good story, there's something here for everyone. So grab your favorite snack, get comfy, and let's dive into the fascinating world of Samuel Richardson together. Our story begins with Clarissa Harlowe, a young woman from a rich and respectable family. She lives in a grand estate surrounded by luxury and opulence. Her family is well known in society, and they take great pride in their status. Think the Kardashians, but with better manners and fancier hats. They're always dressed to the nines, attending parties and social gatherings, making sure everyone knows just how important they are. Clarissa is beautiful, intelligent, and kind, which basically makes her the perfect catch in 18th century England. She loves reading and spending time in the garden, and she's always willing to help others. Her family, however, is a bit of a circus. They're constantly arguing and scheming, each member trying to outdo the other in their quest for power and influence. Her parents are pushing her to marry this wealthy but obnoxious dude named Soames. They think he's the perfect match for her, but Clarissa can't stand him. He's got money and status, but he's about as charming as a drop bear. He's rude, arrogant, and completely full of himself, and Clarissa can't imagine spending her life with him. Clarissa, being a woman of principle, refuses to marry someone she doesn't love. She believes in true love and wants to marry for the right reasons, not just for money or status. This doesn't go down too well with her family, especially her ambitious brother James, who sees Soames as his ticket to the top. James is determined to climb the social ladder, and he'll do whatever it takes to get there. Family drama, am I right? The Harlowes are a perfect example of how even the most respectable families can have their fair share of chaos and conflict. And in the midst of it all, Clarissa just wants to follow her heart and find true happiness. Enter Robert Lovelace, a dashing but dishonorable gentleman who's got his sights set on Clarissa. He's the kind of guy who walks into a room and everyone takes notice. His charm is undeniable, and his confidence is almost hypnotic. But behind that charming smile lies a heart full of deceit. He's like that bad boy in high school that all the girls fancy, but deep down you know he's trouble, the kind of guy who can make you feel special one moment and leave you questioning everything the next. His reputation precedes him, yet there's something about him that draws people in. Lovelace is determined to make Clarissa his, even if it means resorting to trickery and deceit. He's a master manipulator, always 2 steps ahead, always plotting his next move. His mind is a web of schemes, and he's not afraid to use any means necessary to get what he wants. He's like a dog with a bone, this guy, and he's not about to let go easily. Once he sets his sights on something, he's relentless. His determination is both admirable and terrifying. He won't stop until he's achieved his goal, no matter the cost. He pretends to be Clarissa's friend, offering her support and sympathy in her struggle against her family. He's sneaky like that. He knows exactly what to say to gain her trust, to make her believe that he's on her side. His words are sweet, but his intentions are far from pure. Clarissa, naive and trusting, falls for Lovelace's charm. She sees him as a savior, someone who understands her pain and wants to help her. She's blinded by his attention, unable to see the danger that lurks beneath his smooth exterior. She thinks he's her knight in shining armor, but little does she know he's about to lead her down a very dark path. A path filled with betrayal, heartache, and despair. Lovelace's true nature will soon be revealed, and Clarissa will learn the hard way that not all that glitters is gold. Despite Lovelace's attempts to discredit her family, Clarissa sees through his lies and starts to distance herself from him. She's no fool, this one. She's got a head on her shoulders and she's not afraid to use it. She realizes that Lovelace is only interested in her for one thing, and it's not her sparkling personality. She decides that she'd rather die than be with a man who doesn't respect her. Talk about a strong woman. Section 5. Run away, Clarissa, run away. Fearing for her safety and determined to escape her family's pressure, Clarissa makes a daring decision. She runs away from home. She's like a kangaroo on the loose, this girl, and no one's going to stop her. She trusts Lovelace to help her find a safe haven, but this proves to be a grave mistake. She's put her faith in the wrong bloke, and she's about to pay the price. Section 6. Lovelace's big plan. Lovelace, seeing this as his opportunity, tricks Clarissa into going to London with him. He promises her freedom and protection, but his real intentions are far more sinister. He takes her to a boarding house, where he set up a whole elaborate ruse to make her believe that she's in danger, and that he's the only one who can protect her. He's like a spider weaving a web, this guy, and Clarissa is the fly he's about to trap. Section 7. Trapped like a dingo. Clarissa is trapped. She's surrounded by strangers, cut off from her family and friends, and completely at Lovelace's mercy. He continues to shower her with attention and affection, but his true colors are starting to show. He's controlling, manipulative, and downright creepy. Clarissa is living a nightmare, but she's not giving up hope. She's a fighter, this one, and she's determined to find a way out of this mess. Section 8. Clarissa's letters home. Throughout her ordeal, Clarissa pours her heart out in letters to her best friend, Anna Howe. These letters are full of her fears, her hopes, and her unwavering belief in God. She writes about everything: Lovelace's deceit, her own naivety, and her desperate desire to escape from this nightmare. Her letters are a testament to her strength and resilience, and they give us a glimpse. Section 9. The showdown we've all been waiting for. The tension builds and builds until it finally reaches a breaking point. Lovelace, driven by his obsession with Clarissa, commits an unforgivable act. He drugs and rapes her. It's a heartbreaking moment, and it changes everything. Clarissa is utterly devastated. She feels betrayed, violated, and completely alone. Section 10. Justice for Clarissa. After this horrific event, Clarissa's life spirals downward. She's consumed by grief, shame, and a deep sense of betrayal. She rejects Lovelace's attempts to make amends, believing that he's incapable of true remorse. She's done with him, mate. Finished. Her health deteriorates and she eventually dies, but not before forgiving Lovelace and her family. She's a better person than I am, that's for sure. Lovelace, haunted by his actions, is challenged to a duel by Clarissa's cousin and is killed. It's a classic case of karma, baby. Section 11. Why this book still matters today. So, why should we care about a book written over 250 years ago? Well, Clarissa is more than just a tragic love story. It's a timeless exploration of power, morality, and the complexities of human relationships. It's a story about a woman fighting for her right to choose her own destiny in a society that tries to control her every move. It's a story that still resonates today, in a world where women continue to face pressure, judgment, and violence. Section 12. So that's Clarissa in a nutshell. Well, there you have it, folks. Clarissa by Samuel Richardson, a story that's as relevant today as it was back in the 1700s. It's a story that will make you laugh, cry, and everything in between. So next time you're looking for a good read, give Clarissa a try. You won't regret it. Stay tuned for more literary adventures.